All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to the Flipside. I'm Sam, and we're going to be doing a solo playthrough of Santorini, but specifically the Riddle of the Sphinx, because Santorini in and of itself is a 2 to 4 player game. Riddle of the Sphinx, however, allows you to play solo mode, and that's what we're going to do today. Now, I got this in last week, I think Thursday last week. So I've had this game around for about a week. I was able to play it at Comic-Con a little bit, but we played Riddle of the Sphinx and we played multiplayer. It's cooperative. It was enjoyable. So what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to play through the first few tutorial chapters of the Riddle of the Sphinx. And so there is going to be some spoilers here because these are puzzles that you're trying to figure out the solution for so that you can break through to the next chapter. Now, there are different levels that you can finish the chapters on. For example, there are 4 different levels. There is silver, gold, heroic, and then there's also godlike, which is the hardest way to do it. And so what we're going to be doing though is we're just going to be doing the easy stuff, easiest, just to show you how it works. So there won't be any godlike finishes in any of the chapters today, because you have to start on hard mode in order to get to godlike, a godlike win. So heroic is the best we'll be able to do if we do that. But that being said, this will give you a good idea of what the Riddle of the Sphinx does and how it works. Now, it is not a standalone expansion. You do have to have all of the pieces from the base game in order to play Riddle of the Sphinx. But it does come with a number of other pieces as well that will spice up your play, so to speak. So let's go ahead and say hello to everybody. Philip Zomberg is here. Luke Shirus is here. Spoiler alert, I'm here. Hello from the other side, Philip says. Tom says hello. PK is here. Hello, good to see you. Don't you mean the flip side, Philip? I predict building will be built based on the building in the real world city of Santorini. That is correct. Buildings will look very similar to what they look like in Santorini. Let's see here. You'd think so, but you'd be wrong. Let's see. Mom Gamer's here. Hello, sir, and everyone in chat. How lucky am I to catch 2 live shows? Yay for me. That is correct. Solo TI4 today? No. Guess it's Candyland or Chutes and Ladders or Hi-Ho Cheerio or some other high complex game for Sam to lose at. Truth. Ryan is here. Good to see you. Curious how a structure from Egypt ended up in Santorini. Okay, well, it's a different Sphinx, I guess, because that doesn't look like the one in Egypt. But maybe after we finish all of the chapters, that's explained. I don't know. Eric says, and where exactly does Santorini Sphinx connection happen in a non-fever dream reality? Same drug party where Santorini, New York was conceived? Yes! You figured it out. Good job, Eric. Gold star for you. All right, so as we're getting started here, we'll get down to the table and artist interpretation. There you go, Philip. Get him. Get him. Get her, Ray. All right, here we go. Down to the table, and let's see how that works. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. The only thing over here that is underneath the thing is the turn sequence. Maybe I can just put it up here so you guys can still look at it that way. There you go. And then we can move these up a little bit. The one that we'll be using the most here is the solo mode gameplay card. because in solo mode you have to use this card and you have to flip it over. And you have to put the, what does it say? The Sphinx? No, the Wanderer. Am a wanderer, am a wanderer. So I have to use this thing, and I'm going to place it over here, and I get to choose whether I use the white player, or if I'm going to use a blue player, or if I'm going to select a god, or if I'm going to play the Sphinx's game. In these first couple of chapters, the Sphinx's game is not an option. So we'll be using these three. But what it does say is that each turn I have to place the Wanderer on one of the 4 quadrants of the opposite side of the card, then carry out the quadrants listed action. Each turn you must place the Wanderer in a different quadrant than the previous turn. So this means you can't activate the white worker 2 turns in a row. When activating a white or blue worker, you must move them and move, then build this turn, and the first worker you move must be of the indicated color. Then you can potentially use powers to activate other workers without restriction. You can hold up to 2 god cards, and their powers can be used by any of your workers. All right, so that's how this works. So now we can just turn this over and it is ready to go. We'll put the Wanderer, let's have him facing the right direction. We'll put the Wanderer right there so that it can be used. So generally speaking, when you're setting up a one player, you set up 2 blues and 2 whites, which I have done here, in the places where they're supposed to be set up. You don't get to choose where they go, generally speaking. And on a 2 player, so basically it's you have 2 teams, and one person is going to be controlling the white workers, and the other team will be controlling the blue workers. In a 3-player setup, each player sets up 1 worker of their color, and then you set up the Wanderer together, who is shared by the workers, who is a shared worker but cannot be the first worker who moves on 2 consecutive turns. And then you have 4 players where you have 2 players take on the whites and 2 players take on the blues, and it is cooperative. So that gives you a good idea of how everything works there. Actually, let's put the setup aid up here, and then we'll put the turn sequence down here so that it might be a little bit easier to read for you guys. All right, so as you can see here, it actually starts your first tutorial with all of the rules that are basically right here. And then in the rule book, in the Riddle of the Sphinx, it goes through and it shows you a bunch of different things that you're going to be able to do. So first of all, of course, there is the rules, but then it gets right into teaching all of the different things. And this is the really cool part about the book, where you can unlock gods and have them be friendly to become part of your god deck that's up here. Then there also explains other things like blessings and all of that kind of stuff. And then you actually get into all of the different stuff here. So there is a first, like this is the first adventure map. So, and these are all of the things that can be taken care of on this adventure map and this constellation. Once you are finished with all of these and the page numbers are all of this basically goes up to, it looks like 1 through 22. And then you can play it again with other things. So you kind of get the idea of what's going on here. It gives you a bunch of different times that you can play through this, and you can choose different routes on what gods you're going to unlock and so forth and so on as you go through this. So there is some pretty cool stuff that's in here. It gives a lot of replayability with this. But we won't spend too much time doing this right now, because I'll go ahead and show you as we go through what we've chosen to do and how it all works. But for right now, we're just going to put this right up there. Okay, so basically on a turn, normally, you know, with I'm going to be able to choose one of these different things. Again, The Sphinx's game is not part of it right now. So I can choose which workers to go with, and I can also choose to select a god. Gods are pretty cool. They're going to give you a special ability that you can use. For example, Demeter here, or Demeter, you may build an additional time in a different space neighboring the builder. And then they also have these little quests at the bottom. They also come with a specific piece. So, or like this one right here, you get to choose which one you're going to take when you take the Minotaur. But here's the thing. When you take this God card, you're going to be able to take one of those pieces and set it on top of it. Now, anybody in a multiplayer game can use this piece, but only if you use it and clear the card while using that card's power are you able to get a reward for completing the quest down here at the bottom of the card, which basically gives you the option to get another piece from the supply over here. Now, that's one of the main differences between the Riddle of the Sphinx and regular Santorini. This is not my stockpile. This is my stockpile. And I only have these two pieces available to me to build right now, which is problematic because I'm going to need more than that to finish the puzzle, so to speak. So in order to finish the puzzle, I'm going to have to fire off some of these quests so I can get the other pieces that I need. Later on, when you play the Sphinx's game, that's another way to get pieces, but we'll get into that in one of the other scenarios. Apologize, I'm going to be eating some bacon as we play, so I apologize for the smacking noises if that occurs. I'll try to be as quiet as I can, though. Okay. So, every scenario is going to have silver and possibly gold win conditions. And that simply means that you're going to be, like whenever I build this first level, I'm going to be able to take this coin and put it up here. And so once I've done all three of those, I'll be able to fire off a reward. But only when I'm able to build the gold one is where the riddle will end. All right? So what's going to happen here first? I'm going to go ahead and choose to do a white worker. The white worker is going to be able to move one, and they can move in adjacent or orthogonal one time in any of the directions that's there. So I'm going to move one and then build one. And so I'm going to go ahead and use, I'm going to go ahead and use this and build this right here, just like that. So that one goes there, and then this will go up here. So that was my first move. And now, it is important for you to note that if I choose to build things that don't have coins on them, I can do that, but it isn't efficient. You're trying to finish the puzzle as quickly as possible. So on my next move, I might want to do something like this. Have the blue worker move up here, and then I can build up here, like so. And that would put this one over here like that. So that's something that you can do. Whenever you're moving, you can move, like I said earlier, in any of the 8 surrounding orthogonal or adjacent or diagonal spaces from where you're moving from. Whenever you're moving up, you can move only one level at a time. So I would not be able to go like this. You can't move through places. Oh, let me double check that, because when you move one of your workers to an unoccupied neighboring adjacent space. The worker builds a level 1 from a stockpile and a build time. Build one time on an adjacent occupied space. I'm pretty sure you can only move up 1. Let's see. Move with any of your workers. Select a god, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Let's start over. Let's actually do it the way that the book tells us to, because it is a tutorial, right? So, turn 1, blue player. On blue player's turn, they must perform one of these 3 actions. So, turn 1, we're going to build with the blue player. Move, then build, select a god. So, turn 1 is going to be select a god. So we're going to select Demeter. That's what it actually says. And we're going to put Demeter right here, just so that you guys can see it, not down here where I normally probably would. Whenever we select Demeter, we're going to be able to place a level 1 on top of it. All right. And then it gives us a special ability and the quest that is necessary. The deck is empty at this point, but if there were more than 3 cards, because this is a tutorial, it only has the 3 cards in it, but if there are more than 3 cards here, you would refill the spot where Demeter was. Now, turn 2. It also says blue player, but because we only have 1 player, I can't choose the blue player again. I bet you this is supposed to be white player. So, let's just say the white player did that. Now the blue player is going to do it. Move, then build. So when you move, you can move to any directions possible. So worker on G which isn't actually there. Why is it G? So they're going to move, first of all, from H to G right there. So they've moved diagonally. Then they're going to build a number 1 from the stockpile on F, which is right here. Boom. Then that goes up here just like that. In the riddle of the Sphinx, builders must use a block or dome from the shared stockpile or from any player's god card. All right, so anybody can use this, but only the person who owns Demeter will be able to use it and possibly gain the quest at the bottom. So now that was turn 2. Turn 3, back to the white player. White player is fixing to take down that silver objective. What? All right, so worker on F. That is going to be, there is no worker on F. Why not? Oh. White player moves and builds, moves worker from I to F, just like that. And then the worker on F builds a level 2 from the stockpile on D. So this one goes here just like that. Bing. And then this goes over here. See, we pretty much did the same thing that they did. Then all silver coin slots, the worker on F also builds Demeter's level 1. So the worker on F also builds the level 1 on Demeter over on E, just like this. Because she has that special ability, you may build an additional time in a different space neighboring the builder. All right, so now the quest says clear this card, which we just did, using this power, which we just did. So now we're going to take Demeter and discard her. But we do get the quest where we get to pick which one that we want to do. So for Demeter's reward, white player must choose a piece. They already have the dome they will need for the gold coin. As a silver, we did this. So we're going to get a dome because of this reward up here. So this becomes part of our stockpile. And now that we already have this for Demeter's reward, which is any one of our choice, let's go ahead and choose a level 3. So we go ahead and choose a level 3 to become part of our stockpile. And now in turn 4, we're going to go back to the blue player. And it says blue player moves then builds. Move the worker from C, which is right here, to E, which is right here. And choose white player discards, no. Worker on E builds level 3 from stockpile B. on B. So this one's going to go right here just like that. And this stays up there because we haven't built the dome yet. Then, going back to turn 5, we're going to go white player. And white player moves, then builds move worker from A to C, like this. And then the worker on C builds a dome from the stockpile in B, which is right here, just like that. And that goes over there, and that ends this part of the riddle. All right, so what we would do at this point, it does say that we need to open the adventure book to page 6 and follow its commands. So we would open the book to page 6, and we would start reading up here. This example shows you the adventure map. So you're going to be able to put in here what names you're going to be. It's basically like a guest book. You can do that or not do that. It has no bearing upon the actual play. You don't have to play with the same people and all of that other kind of stuff like you normally would with a campaign game. But anyway, the adventure map is a menu for selecting your next riddle. After every riddle, do these 3 steps. So number 1, participating players assign the guest book. Do that if you wish. Shade objective circles. You just did the tutorial. Turn your adventure map to shade in the silver and the gold. So we would turn over to silver and gold. So Sunshine and Seashores tutorial. We've shaded in both the silver and the gold icons here. So that's good. Then step 3 is going to be to shade diamonds. Just like you did in the tutorial, you shaded 2 adventure map circles. So we would be able to shade 2 of these circles that are right here. And basically what this is it's starting to unlock gods that are going to go into the god deck when the scenarios tell us to use friendly gods. Right now it's just telling us to use the common gods and so forth. So those are the 3 things that you would be doing in between the 2 different scenarios. In between the different scenarios. All right. So at this point, we would just take everything off so that we can get ready to go to the next scenario. So all of this comes off, these go back, and we would flip the page. That's so Sam can't read the cards anyway. Well, he really needs a close-up to switch to setup. See GoFundMe page, FOBG. Don't think so. Wonder how you choose first player for this game. Santorini, meeny, meeny, miny, mo. Plastic than Kardashian. Wow. Bacon. Better be turkey bacon. It isn't. Does Jessie know? Yes, she does. Cat bacon. No. Ew. Sam finally got rid of the cats. Might be a good idea. Not really. Not going to do it. Certain gods allow you to push or jump over other workers. Yes, that's true. I'll leave that statement alone, Luke. Oh my goodness. Thank you for leaving it alone, Eric. You might want to escape your cage, Eric. Yep. Kind of like it in here. See? I make it comfortable for him. I'm not sure if Sam said it, but the coins indicate how many levels you must build on that space. It moves up the tower as you add layers. Yep. All right. Here we go. I'm caught up on that. So now you can see that we have a different place here. Now, it does say, which is interesting because these are wild spaces. So I could put a blue worker there or I could put a white worker there. It really doesn't matter. I'm probably going to split them up like so because I just think it would probably be better to have a better ability of moving around. So what's going to happen here is that this will go here like that. This will go here like that. Then we have a level 3 right here. And we have a silver level 4 right here. So that's how that's going to go. Then we also have a level 1 right here. A level 1 right here. And a level 1 right here. So that's how those 3 set up, like that. And I believe that's it. So when we get all 4 silvers out here, that will end the riddle. Okay? But if we want to get gold status on this scenario, we will collect the final silver coin with at least 1 block or dome left in our stockpile or on one of our god cards. If we want heroic, we have to achieve silver and gold, which means that we have to achieve silver with 1 piece left over. And if we want to get heroic, all of us have to be off the ground level, like so. Okay? And the other way that we can get godlike is if during setup, we have normal setup or expert setup. In order to get godlike mode, we have to use expert setup, not normal. So this one's next before we even start. All right, now what this does is it brings into it the playing the Sphinx's game, which is right here and uses this die. So basically what this is going to do is if we want to go play the Sphinx's game, we're going to roll the die, and blue came up, so that means we're going to be able to use this blue piece, which has that pick a piece of your choice symbol on it, and that's what we're able to do. But if we go and play the Sphinx's game again, and then we roll blue again, we're going to have to kill one of our workers out here and put it up here. And then if that happens again and we have to kill another worker, then we've lost the riddle and we have to start over. Okay? But this is potentially 3 pieces that we can add to our stockpile if we don't roll the same one too many times in a row. So that's what this scenario adds as far as the Sphinx is concerned. All right, so we have already done all of this. Take 2 white, 2 blue, then find the solo mode game. Set up the Sphinx's game by placing the 3 gems. Form a god deck of 5 randomly chosen face down cards. All right, so we're going to use the blue base gods. We're not using any of the green friendly gods yet. So we're going to give these a shuffle. And we're going to fill the 3 slots. Oh, wow. Dementor. Okay, we're... How did that happen? All right, let's give it a good shuffle here. All right, here we go. Triton. She just wants to play. Okay, we'll let her play. And then Irene. So Triton, Demeter, and Irene, and then this is put over here. But denoting that this is not actually a playable deck. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have to put 2 others out there. It's a deck of 5 cards, so there are 2 other ones available. And we'll put the others over here. All right. Determine a start player by rolling off. I don't think we have to do that because I'm the start player. Okay. The tutorial taught 2 of the 3 actions you can do. 1, 2. The third action you do is to play Sphinx's game. Roll the die. It's purple. Notice that the red one down here is red and purple. So that means this is taken away. I don't think it wants us to do that, actually. Yeah. Just showing that you can do that. We are going to start with 2 these in our stockpile. We'll put them up here. Okay. So Now what we're going to do is we're going to try to build these different things. Yeah, I think my first thing is going to be, I'm going to take Demeter. And that puts a third one on there. Okay, so that is that. So now a new god comes out, and Perseus is out there. So the different things that these guys can do. Triton, instead of a normal move, you can select a direction, and then you must try to move 3 times in that direction. If you move 2 or 3 times, the turn you clear this, then you get to choose a piece that you want from the supply. Irene over here says, after you build, if you built in a space that neighbors a figure other than the builder, you may build an additional time. So very similar to Demeter, but a little bit more complicated. Perseus, when moving, you may move into spaces containing other figures, and then when moving into an occupied space, you move again. So that gives you an opportunity to move through a space rather than anything else. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to go here and use a blue worker. The blue worker is going to move here, and she's going to use one from the stockpile to build that here, like so. And after you build, you may build another time at a different place neighboring the builder. So we're going to go ahead and use this and build that right here. But that stays on top of it because we haven't built that second piece yet. And because we used her ability, we're going to choose to take a level 2. Okay. So that was blue. And what I think I'm going to do now is we're going to go over to white. And we're going to have white move up here like this. And then they will build another one right down here like this. And then we're going to go back to blue like that. Blue is going to move up here and build here with this 2. Boom. Just like that. And now this comes over here as well. And now I'm at the point where we do need another one. So we're going to choose a god card. We're going to take Irene, and Irene comes with a level 1 piece, and that moves these guys down, and another one comes out. Antaeus, after your first build, you may move and build with an additional worker who is at ground level. Interesting. Well, I can't use that same one again. So I'm going to go to the Sphinx's game, and we're going to roll, and it is red. So this big one comes out, which is bad because that means that these are going to be 50-50. That sucks. I think we're going to need a level 2 here pretty quick because we've got a level 1 here. So you may build an additional time. If you built in a space that neighbors a figure other than the builder, you may build an additional time. Cool. All right, so what's going to happen here is I think I'll go to blue now. Blue will move up here like this, and we'll use We're going to use this one and build right here, like so. That keeps that on there. But then I'm going to, because I built in a space that neighbors a figure other than the builder, I can build an additional time. So now I'm going to take this and put it right here and put that right back in there, and that allows me to get rid of this card, and we get to take a level 2. We don't need any more level 1s, so I need a level 3 here, and I need a 2, 3, and 4 here. Oh boy. So let's see, what do we got here? Want a Cheeto? No, Eddie, I don't want a Cheeto. Did you know that in Greece they have Cheetos that are baked maize? Some sit back with them in Santorini, and while at it pop one in belly button for, oh, that's disgusting. I'm pretty sure that's not what the Greeks did, Eddie. I'm just saying. My Cyclades Legendary Edition just came in, and wow, just wow, the quality of everything is top tier. Yeah, that's one I missed out on. It was either that or this, and I chose this because I think Jess is going to enjoy it more. But I really wanted to back Cyclades Legendary. But anyway, all right. So at this point, you may select a direction, then you must try to move to 3. Okay. Well, okay, I just used blue, so I can't use blue again. I'm going to go to white, and we're going to have white go here, and we'll build this like so. All right, so I got everybody off of ground level. So that means that Antaeus is not actually going to work for us. Select a direction. You can move up to that many spaces. Oof. All right. Well, I think I'm at the spot where I need to play the Sphinx's game again. Okay. Well, that kills one of our people. Well, knuckle butt. All right, let's just say this person dies. Okay, let's. Oh. Okay, we're going to select a god, and we're going to use Triton. And Triton comes with a level 1. Oh, that's really stinky. But we'll see what happens. Oh boy. Oh, why did I get a level 2? No, I didn't. Never mind. All right, well, let's see here. Instead of a normal move, we're going to go to blue. Instead of a normal move, we're going to select a direction which is diagonal this way and move 3 times in that direction. So 1, 2, 3. If you move 2 or 3 times when you clear this, so we're going to build over here. And so we've cleared that card using that power, and we're able to get one that we need. So now I need a level 3 for sure. So we're going to need to get another level 3 in a bit as well. So let's see, where do we need to go back to select a god. And may build with an additional worker at any color who is at ground level. Man, that would be really nice. But that would mess up some stuff with an additional worker of any color. Okay. All right, so what I think I need to do here is I need to... He skipped all of me. I haven't skipped all of you. You're just not talking about stuff that's talking about this. You're talking about Shelf of Shames and Whistle Stop and temporary gave up learning bonfire and you were going to give me and JT crap on their Shelf of Shame stream until I realized I'm worse than them, like 20% of my collection unplayed. See, yeah, I didn't skip all of you. I just didn't give you the brevity of time that you needed. If you write about Cheetos, he'll read you. Do it. No, don't do it, Eric. No, he's going to do it. Okay, so at this point, I am at a spot where I need to start building things that I'm going to select a God card. I don't know if I need to do that right now. Well, I kind of do, because that's really the only way I can get more stuff. Oh, I really want to play the Sphinx's game again, but I'm going to do it. I'm not going to select a God card. I'm going to... Okay, blue. So we get a piece of our choice, which is going to be another level 3. Okay. So now we're going to go with select a god, and that's going to be Antaeus. Okay, so Antaeus is going to go right there. And so, and he comes with a level 1. Let's put it up here so you guys can see. He comes with a level 1, so this comes back. I roll the blue. All right, so now at this point, we are going to... We're going to go with... white. No, we're going to go with blue. No, we're going to go with, yeah. We're going to go with blue. No, white. White is going to go here. Boom. Then they're going to build a level 3 up here, which puts this up here like that. Oh, snap. Snappy, snappy. Should I do that? Well, I might have just given up heroic, but we'll see. Okay, so now we're going to select the God card. No, we're going to do blue. And then blue is going to move here and build this here, and then allow this person to build this here. That gets rid of Arteus. And that allows me to choose one of these things. We can't do godlike anyway. So this is in my stockpile. And we're going to do white, which is going to allow me to go up here anyway. And then I can build this up here. Just like that. And so we got silver, we got gold because we have, oh, well, you know what? I don't go to white, I go to select a god. We're going to select a god. Oh no, it has this. Anyway, all right, yeah, that's what I did. Bink, bink, that's what I did. All right, so ends venture. Collect final coin with at least one block dome left in your stockpile and or god cards. Nope, don't have it. Activate, so I only got silver because I wasn't able to do this or this. So I was a little bit inefficient because of building these extra things that didn't need to be built. But you get the idea, right? So now I would go over to the adventure book, circle in on the lighthouse, the lighthouse one here, I would only be able to circle in the one. Now, because when we were playing through this earlier, I was able, you know, we were doing better basically than me by myself. We actually got heroic on that one. So on that one, we actually circled in all three. So that's what does there. So that is that. And let's see, what time is it? 2:51. Yeah, we got time for one more. And that'll give you guys a good idea of the game. All these guys come off. This will get set back up here. Then this one will get set back up here. Then all of these come off. Go back in here. And then we flip the board in a good way. All of the gods will come back here. All right, so objective overview, gather the coins efficiently. If you can, have at least one block left over at the end. Crossing the map can be difficult, so make good use of mover gods. So there's basically three different kinds of gods. Some of them are good at moving, some of them are good at building, and then some are good at doing other things. But this is where we can start using some of the bridges. These bridges come out and go like this and like this. And so basically these two spots here are adjacent to these two spots because of the bridge that's there. All right. So setup, we're going to take very similar fashion there, and then here and here, just like that. And we've got level 2 there, a level 2 here. Then we have level 1 and level 1, like that. Then we're going to have these new things called blessing tokens that are out here, like so. And we'll get to those in just a minute. Then we have a single gold, a single gold, and we have a double gold and another double gold. Then we're also going to have 1, 2, 3 with a dome. And 1, 2, oops, wrong way. 2, 3 over here as well with a dome. Okay. Now, we're also going to be forming a blessing deck. So the blessing deck is going to come into play now. And the blessing deck is basically going to be number of blessing cards. So on the different things here, the blessing score is showing how many tokens, I'm sorry, how many cards are going to be going into the deck. So at this particular case, it's going to just be numbers 1 through 8. And until we start getting more blessings, then we'll be in trouble. Let's see. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, there's 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 1, 5, and 8. All right. So we have blessing cards 1 through 8. We give them a shuffle. And now this deck goes right here. It's called the Blessings deck. So what happens here is if we end our spot, or if we move through this spot, then this comes off the board, and we take the top blessing card here and add it to the top of the God deck. And then when another God is chosen and it's revealed, it becomes a single-use thing that anybody can use. That will basically help you guys out. We're going to start with 2 in our stockpile, like so. Now over here it says that we have to get these 4 first, and then we also have to get these over here. After we get all 4 of these done, we'll be able to choose 1 discarded God and place them on top of the God deck, or we can take on Godlike with no reward. So Godlike here is that we have to set up on expert difficulty, which is 1. We're not doing that, so who cares? God deck is going to be 5 random cards, so we're going to go ahead and shuffle these back in. And then give 1 more. And 1, 2, 3. Those will get flipped over. Triton, Perseus, and Artemis. And then 1, 2 are additional gods that we'll be able to use in just a little bit. All right. So at this point, I'm going to check chat, see how it's going. You don't want to read about what the ancient Greeks were into. You're right. Answer is don't tell me then. They were into anything and everything. Same with the ancient Romans. I guess just all ancients really. If you write about Cheetos, can the white worker build to 3? Yes. Whenever you're building, it's only adjacent. You can build any number of things. Do it. I'm TI4 guy. You're the Cheeto guy. Tom, fascist moderator guy. Sam, don't get me started on him. Oh, he says sorry to Tom. Wow, thanks a lot, pal. Okay. Okay. Well, this is the level 2, level 1, level 1. Oh, that's cool. She can move 2 spaces, so that's a good one. That's a movement, and all 3 of these are movement gods. That's good. 1, 2, 3. That could be something I do. So I think what I'll do first is I'm going to do select a god, and we're going to select Triton. And so Triton over here starts with a level 1. And I can select a direction, then move, try to move 3 times in that direction. If you move 2 or 3 while you're clearing this, then that's a good thing. Morpheus. Morpheus says, as you move up a level, you may transform a block or dome from the stockpile or a god card into a different piece from the box. And he comes with a dome, which in this one isn't really useful, but we could transform it to a different one. That's pretty cool. All right. All right. So that's that. I think I'm going to take blue, and we're going to have blue go first. And blue is going to use Triton's ability, and he's going to move 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to build right here after that movement. So this comes over here like that. And then if I move 2 or 3 times, when you clear this, I get to choose my own next one. So we are going to need some, we need another level 1 because we've only got 3 and we've got a whole bunch to do. So we're going to do that. Next. We're going to go over to white. No, actually, I think we're going to choose another god card. So we're going to select... oh, sorry. Because he was standing here, we got this over here. And I chose Artemis. So Artemis is here, and Artemis comes with a level 2. So that'll work. And that was selecting a god card. And now this blessing becomes available. And foresight, it says discard to gain this power. You may skip either the move or the build portion of your turn. Or you can discard this after any die roll to re-roll the result 1 time. So that is a ability that is a one-time use that anybody can use. Okay, so next we're going to move, we're going to go white, and we're going to move white there, and we'll build one of these dudes right here, like that. That puts that down there. Then think we will, and because he's on a token, then another blessing card comes out and goes on top of the deck over here. I don't think we're going to go to white this time. We're going to go to select a god card. We're going to get Morpheus out here. This does say, the rules say that we can have, in a single player mode, solo mode, you can have 2 gods active at the same time. So this will take that and put it over there. Oh yeah, I get Ken. I will defer to a future on Tuesday. It belongs chat to explain. I'm sure you will, Eric. All right. So now, I've chosen a god card. I chose Morpheus, and let's see here. I am going to choose blue. I'm going to choose blue. And we're going to move up a level. Bing. And whenever I move up a level, as you move up a level, you may transform this block or dome on the stockpile or on a God card into a different piece from the box. So I'm going to change this dome, since we don't need it, into a level 1. And that's going to go over here. Then that was his movement. Now he's going to build. He's going to build a level 1 right here. And so clear this while using this power, and we get to gain one of our choice. So we have 1, 2, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to take another single and put it in here like that. Bing bong. All right, that was blue. So now we're going to go back to white. We're going to go, I'm going to, oh, sorry, this comes out. So Dolos's plan, discard to gain this power. Before your turn, you may discard 1 block or dome from the stockpile or God card to restore 1 discarded gem. Oof, I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe it is. I'm going to discard Foresight, because Foresight is going to give me the ability to skip either the move or the build portion of your turn. And since I'm white, I'm going to have her stay right there and just build a single right here, just like that. So that's going to go there. And this one's done. So this goes to the discard pile right over here. Move up a level and move twice on the turn. You clear this. Wow, move up a level and twice. Huh, interesting. All right, that was white. I think we'll go to blue, and we'll move 1 and build a single down here. Then I'm going to go white. I'm going to go over here and build this right here. And then we will then I'm going to go here and roll. So it's this one. Oh wait, we should have got another God card out. A Minotaur. Okay, that is, I'm going to need another level 1 here. So that was that. And then go here to blue. And so we're going to go 1, 2. I can move 2 spaces, but just not back to the place where I started. And then I'm going to build a level 2 right here. That's going to go over here. That allows me to get rid of this card, which allows me to gain one of my choice. And that is going to be another level 1, like this. So that now we have level 1s for both of these, and I need a level 2 here, level 2 here, level 2 here. That's going to be difficult, I think. So now we're going to select a God card, and we'll choose we will choose at least one block dome left over. We'll choose the Minotaur, and that gets me, so we need 1, 2 level 1s. We need a level 2 now. So level 2 will come over here for the Minotaur. He says when you move onto a neighboring worker by forcing them 1 space in the same direction you moved into an unoccupied space at any level. Okay. So white is going to use the Minotaur's ability and going to push this person over here like that. And then they are going to build a level 1 right here. Oops. I didn't clear this card, so the quest isn't done, and the thing is still on the card, so I get to keep him. Jess just dropped something upstairs. Hope she's okay. That's good. Okay, now at this point, that was white, so we'll do blue, and we'll move him here and do this. And wowee. Then we'll do a God card and have Perseus show up with this. And then okay, so before my turn, I can discard this, discard 1 block or dome from the stockpile or a God card to replace this. All right, so that comes out, and we get to choose one of our choice. We'll have it be a level 2. Now, I wonder if Perseus goes away. I think he does, because he doesn't have a card on his thing. Okay, see you later, babe. Love you.
You want to meet at the grill?
Yeah. Okay, so next we're going to go with white, and we're going to use the Minotaur's power. White is going to go here and push them in a direction. Oh, wait. Maybe I need to do the other way around. No, I need to do blue first. And we can push them here like this. And then blue can build this right here, which puts this over here. And this one's done now too. And we get one of our choice, which I believe needs to be another 2 for over here. Yep. So we have that. And now we are going to... Oh, that was blue, wasn't it? Poopy doopy. Oh, crud, I didn't... I should have pushed her this way. I could have pushed her in any direction. So I should have pushed her this way so that I can go white, come here, and build a 2. That puts this here. And now we go back to blue, move here. This gets placed here. Oh, why is that there? Why do we have this? Did I grab a wrong? I grabbed a wrong one. I grabbed one of this instead of one of those. So this goes here, and that goes over here, and we're done. So we didn't get this over here. What would that have been? Discard to gain this power this turn. You may build blocks underneath neighboring figures. That's pretty cool. But that didn't come out. Anyway, that is level 3. We got silver and gold. We did not have one left over. So we would not have gotten heroic, but we would have been able to mark both of these. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's how you play Riddle of the Sphinx. I don't want to get too far into it. Because, you know, at this point, it's still kind of teaching you some of the different things that are available. But at this point, you know how everything works together, except for this adventure book. And so basically, starting with Riddle 3, you're going to be able to take some of those friendly gods that you have connected on this little thing here, the constellation map. You're going to be able to take some of these gods and mix them into the 5 that you start with, the 5 cards that you start with. So now you'll start having 6, 7, 8 god cards that you're going to be using over the course of the game, and so forth and so on. And the more connections you make, the more gods you'll be able to choose from to put them into that god deck. So it's a pretty cool system. I'm looking forward to seeing how it continues to roll out over the course of the game. But so far, so good. I'm really just an introverted 40-year-old lad living in my mom's basement. That is not true, Eric. Who collects comics, and Shannon Doherty is my girlfriend. You wish. So you collect comics too. He clips Sunday comic strips. Isn't that collecting? No, it's not. That's doing couponing the wrong way. PK had to step out. It's youth group night on Thursdays. Everyone have a great one. See you later, Ken. All right. Anybody have any questions about Riddle of the Sphinx? I'm going to start packing things away. While people come up with questions, if they have questions. Seems like an overproduced, simple-ish game where toy factor is the main appeal, like Foundations of Rome. I understand table presence appeal, however, is that relevant? Is it that relevant? Okay, in my opinion, yes, it is that relevant. But I understand what you're saying. I don't feel like games that have this level of production value, I don't feel like they have to be difficult games in order for them to be viable purchases, if that makes sense. And the reason I say that is because why should just the people who like heavy games get all the good stuff. I think it's just as neat to have simple games like Foundations of Rome, like Santorini, Riddle of the Sphinx. I think it's just as viable, just as, I don't know what the word might be. I think it's just as cool to have a simple game with a high bling factor as it is to have a difficult game with a high bling factor. As a matter of fact, I think it's a little bit cooler because more people are going to be able to enjoy this level of production, and I don't have to be a heavy gamer to enjoy it. That's the cool thing, in my opinion. That's just how I look at it. But I get what you're saying, that it seems like it's just mostly a toy and all of that kind of stuff. But I have to be honest with you, games that are like this are going to hit the table infinitely more in my gaming situations than they will than a heavy game will, because I spend a lot of time gaming with people that, first of all, probably aren't ready for heavier games like TI4 or even games like Castles of Burgundy, which isn't an overly complex game. There's a lot of moving parts, but it's not difficult. But they're much more ready for something like this than they are something like those other ones. So I think it's cool that there are games out there now where the bling factor is high and the complexity factor is not. I think that's a cool thing. Am I missing something, or is that what the community is looking for? As you go along, do you actually finish the towers? No, because basically this is just a puzzle. Like, this is a puzzle. Here, I'll go ahead and show a couple of one more. So as you're looking at this one, so the puzzle is you have to get up to level 2 here, up to level 2 here, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, and 2. That's the puzzle. Once you have done that, you've completed all of these, and you're trying to do it with this extra thing so that you can get that extra little tick off on your adventure book. If you come over here, though, you've got a different puzzle. You need a level 1 or level 1. You need a level 4 here, a level 3 here. You need a level 1 and level 1, level 3, and a level 4. So it's a different puzzle, and everything is in different spots. So it's a little, and this one actually has all 3 bridges like so. So you kind of get the idea, right? These are just different puzzles. You're not, and once you reach that puzzle, you're going to be able to unlock more stuff in your adventure book that you're able to use later on. So you're not ever going back and finishing that, although there may be, because I haven't really looked into it, I don't want to spoil it for myself, but there may be other ones that replicate some of these patterns, and maybe you do have to finish them at that point. I don't know, I haven't looked, but each one is just a puzzle that you're trying to figure out, and you start with different things. Like, for example, up until now, you've only started with 2 level 1s. Now you start with 2 level 1s and a level 3. Or with Expert, you can start with a level 1 and a level 2. So they are very simply, they are just puzzles that you are trying to put together and accomplish in the most efficient manner possible. If that makes sense. Hopefully it does, Tom. Heavy games are usually underproduced. They rely on complex mechanics. Right. That's I totally get that. So it's really cool when they have blinged out heavy mechanisms. That's a cool thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's also nothing wrong with having simple mechanisms with blinged out stuff. For some reason, Jeff says, I've had bad luck introducing the base game to everyone that I've played it with. Otherwise, I'd probably look into this one. Huh, that's interesting. Well, I mean, again, not all games are for all people. So you may have had difficulty with it. I don't know that I would. It's been so long since I've played the base game. I would ask the question, Jeff, were you just using just the base game, or were you using the Gods expansion and all of that kind of stuff on top of it? I wonder if there has to be an incremental or an incremental kind of introduction to the game where you start with the base game and then you add in something else and add in something else. I don't know. I don't know what you've done. So look at Lacerda. Expensive, yet production is minimal. Sure, I get that. Some puzzles start with portions or complete buildings. That's correct. So you start completing the towers as you progress. Do you think overproduction is a cash grab? It can be. It absolutely can be. And frankly, the idea of whether or not it's a good cash grab is dependent upon people and their pocketbooks, or rather people voting with their pocketbooks. If something is overtly just a cash grab, people will basically stay away from it, and it'll probably fail. Although there might be enough people out there that will get it to succeed if it's a crowdfunder, and so forth. But you know, cash grabs is, if it's a cash grab, then there's a demand for it. Generally speaking, crowdfunding throws a lot of wrenches into that statement, but if a crowdfunder does that and it succeeds, then there was obviously a demand that nobody knew that they wanted until they saw it. So yeah, sure, I can definitely see how deluxe versions are cash grabs, but if it is substantive, which I believe this is, it offered a solo mode, it offered cooperative, which has not been a thing since Santorini is a competitive game. You can play teams up to 4, but it's basically just a 2-player competitive game, and it offered a solo mode and a cooperative mode. So that's really kind of 2 of the same thing. It offered a cooperative mode that you can play single. This game seems so. I don't think a cash grab is a bad thing. I mean, honestly, if a publisher can come up with something that people want and they charge a lot of money for it and the people are willing to pay it, then that's good business savvy and marketing sense on them. That's not a bad thing. I think a game like this needs the higher produced pieces to be a visual cue as to what level you are built to. If the stacks, cards, or coins were too thin, then it would be a handicap. Being cooperative, this is more accessible than the base both. That is correct. Yeah, I mean, wow, that's really good then. I went extra for the acrylic tokens and the acrylic coins and all of the extra minis and stuff like that. I kind of went heavy into this one because I knew I already liked the game, and I knew I already liked all the expansions, and I really wanted to get the Riddle of the Sphinx. So it's something that I went all in on because I knew it was something that I was going to enjoy. It wasn't just like a blind bid where I'm paying 200 some odd dollars and I don't know if I'm going to like what I got. I was 99% sure I was going to like this because I liked the base game and I liked the idea of it being solo and or cooperative. So it was a no-brainer for me. Cyclades Legendary was also a no-brainer, but I couldn't do both. They were too expensive together. I could not do both, so I had to pick and choose. And this one won out because it's a simpler game, and I think it will reach more people than my Cyclades copy would have if I'd have bought that instead of this. Is it my internet or is he buffering? I don't see that I am buffering anywhere. It might be your internet. Is this game available without all the bling that you have? I believe it is going to be. I don't think that they just went Honestly, I don't know specifically what is going to be available in retail. I do know that like all of these coins here that I was using that were acrylic, they did have in the game, in the expansion, they did have just cardboard. So I would imagine that they are going to have a retail version that is not as expensive that you'll be able to find it for. You were buffering. I had to refresh the page. I'm sorry. I don't see that. Yeah, I'm showing that I have an excellent connection. So sorry if that worked out that way. Do this. See what happens. Well, I mean, everything on my end is looking pretty good. So I apologize for the buffering. It was Sam's internet? Everybody, wow. He's blowharding the internet? How am I blowharding the internet? You're good now. Sorry, nothing ever changed on my end. I'm still showing that I have an excellent connection. It's fine now. Cool. Good. All right. Well, I mean, to be honest, you know, we're talking about, you know, Tim Mativier and I were talking earlier this morning, recording a podcast. We were talking about how, you know, sometimes when you buy a Kickstarter or you spend a lot of money on a game, there's a little bit of buyer's remorse there, because you know, maybe there's a little bit of guilt involved or whatever, because you've purchased something that and you're just not getting it to the table like you would want to, and that produces some buyer's remorse. I've had none of that with this. I am absolutely thrilled that that we got this into the channel, and absolutely thrilled that I'm going to be able to cover it and all of that kind of stuff. And I really do believe that it's one of those things that I'm gonna love taking this to game events and watch people just geek out and gawk out about it, and the production value and the aesthetic value of it. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great time, and I'm very happy that I purchased it. But there are times in the past where I've been like, wow, spent all that money and I've played this thing like twice, and you can't foresee getting it to the table again unless you know, make a conscious effort and schedule a time to do it. I'm much more of a person right now in my in my current state where I'm very much a fan of, like, what's the word? You know, like from the hip, you know, impulse plays. You know, hey, you want to play this? Yeah, let's do that. I love that kind of stuff right now. Instead of saying, hey, at, you know, 1,500 hours on Friday in 2 weeks, you're gonna be free. You know, that's wearisome to me. So I'm much happier having games in my collection that I would be able to play in an impulse situation. Games that I can teach in, you know, 5 to 10 minutes, and you've got pretty much everything. There's always nuances that you can't teach in 5 to 10 minutes, but games that I can teach in 5 to 10 minutes and then be able to walk away and say, hey, if you have any problems, call me back. Those are the games that are right within my wheelhouse, because those are the kind of games that flourish at the game nights that we have. In his La La Reality, blah, 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 it does that when it tries to drop into a commercial. I get viewing remorse every stream. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate you, pal. I often think that I should have gotten the upgraded components when I don't. Well, I mean, sure. I mean, there's always that, because you have the chance to get all the bling stuff, and then, but you hold off because you don't know if you're going to like it or not, and then it turns out that you like it, and you're like, oh crap, I wish I would have gotten all of that nicer, you know, all those nicer pieces. Yeah, that's super normal in my opinion. In a case like this, I am usually in the camp of, not, I wouldn't say usually, but I have found myself in the camp of, wow, I shouldn't have paid that extra, 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks to get all this extra stuff because it's not hitting the table anyway, so who cares? That's the kind of remorse that I've experienced in the past. So it's just one of those things where you have to do your research. You have to do, I usually try to err on the side of caution in that unless I know already that I'm going to like a game, I usually don't back it if it's in that multiple hundreds of dollars range like this was, and like Cyclades Legendary Edition. But with Cyclades, I played that game. I've played that game many times, and so having a deluxeified version of it, and it was a no-brainer. But this was in the same thing, in the same kind of category. It was late pledging at the same time. I just couldn't do both, so I had to make an executive decision there, basically. So, yeah, I get what you're saying, Tom. Base game, then bling later if replayable. That's nothing wrong with that either, Eric. That's exactly what a lot of people should be doing. Really, I mean, frankly, myself included. But the problem with that is more often than not, crowdfunding campaigns play on your FOMO, fear of missing out, when they have all that extra bling here and they mark it as Kickstarter exclusive. And sometimes those publishers will do that even when, I don't know. It seems to me sometimes that publishers say that and then they go ahead and make it available to you anyway. They just, maybe it's just at a limited amount or something like that. But if it's Kickstarter exclusive, then you shouldn't be able to get it other than in a Kickstarter edition that you pay Kickstarter price for, not not any other way. If it's a crowdfunding exclusive, then it should only be available on your crowdfunding campaign or late pledging to that crowdfunding campaign, not at a convention somewhere where you get convention pricing for it, which might be, that I've seen sometimes, less expensive than what the Kickstarters paid for it. But anyway, yeah, often bling isn't available. Yeah, that's the exact same. That's the cool thing about 3D printers. You can make your own bling now. And I got 10 kilograms of filament in 10 different colors. Each one has a kilogram each. And I got that in now, so I'm just waiting for JT to give me the tutorial so I don't screw up my machine that I bought from him. All right, isn't Kickstarter a reduced price to retail? It can be, but it depends on the game. A lot of miniatures games are often a lot of miniatures games are often more expensive in retail than they were on Kickstarter. A lot of other kinds of games are generally they are cheaper than what you would find in retail. But depending on the game and the publisher, that might be a minimal, almost negligible difference. But it just depends. There has to be an incentive for people to give you money before the game is produced in order for you to produce the game. There has to be an incentive. If I'm going to be paying the same amount or more than I will in retail, I'll roll the dice and wait until retail. So there has to be an incentive. So generally speaking, yes, crowdfunding games are generally less expensive than what you will pay for them in retail, but that hasn't always been the case. And a lot of Kickstarter projects don't even make it to retail. They're just crowdfunders, and that's it. And then the only way you're going to get it afterwards, it won't be in retail. It'll be some guy trying to make his money back from the crowdfunding campaign that he backed, or gal, whatever. So, and that's where they start gouging you, because they know they have something that is limited that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else other than paying scalp prices for a product. Pedro Navarro is here. What's up, Pedro? Good to see you. Okay, I'm sending my order for what I need for my games. Get to work 3D printing. I'd be happy to do that, actually. I just realized that it might screw up a little bit, because I am learning. I'm going to have to learn the program that I use to get this stuff in there and all that kind of stuff. But send me a couple of things. That'll be things that I can practice on. If I get them right, bonus for you, bro. Looking to get a 3D printer, but it looks like it's complicated. I don't know that it's that complicated. I think it gets complicated when you start trying to build your own stuff. But if you're just downloading STL files that you just plug into your computer program that feeds it into the machine, I don't think it's going to be that complicated. At least from what JT has told me, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that complicated, which is why I went ahead and bought his old one. Because it does interest me. I'm looking forward to being able to do that, but we'll have to see how it works. Screw up expected. Stackade. I don't know what that means. All right, well, I'm out of here. Got to get ready to, got to go export a video, get started on another one before I get out to church for dinner, and I'm serving on Tech Crew today. So STL, stay the lane. I don't know what STL stands for, but it's .stl. It's a kind of file that 3D modeling programs read, I believe. I don't know what it stands for, though. Anyway, printing STL files is easy. Creating them can be hard because the free software isn't user-friendly. There you go, Luke. That's what I just said. You just said it the other way. And thank you for backing me up, though. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you for being here, y'all. I appreciate you. Come on back tomorrow. Jesse and I are going to be playing a game together. JT is out of town at a graduation for his daughter, I believe. So that leaves just the two of us. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a third, so it might just be just the two of us playing something, and I don't know what we're going to play yet. But I'll get that ready to go either tonight or tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning, and we'll go from there. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. See you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care. Stereolithography. A stereolithography file. Yeah, I'm going to remember that. Thanks, Luke.